Great. Okay, we're live on YouTube. And here's our Facebook. Sound is a go. All right, here we go, guys.
You are listening to Musician Today, weekly podcast with Vera Flamenco. Tune in for your insight into a professional musician's life and awesome new music.
Hi, everybody. Welcome today to another episode of Musician Today podcast, where we interview amazing artists all around the world and try to bring you their awesome music as an inspiration in these most challenging times in our lives. And today we have an awesome cello performer, Hector Jose Ortiz. Began learning the violin in third grade while attending Long Beach Unified School District. His violin classes were offered once a week in a group setting. Hector switched to the cello in the sixth grade and continued playing cello, while in high school, Hector also took marching band and jazz ensemble, where he picked up other instruments, including percussion, electric bass, viola, and guitar. While in high school, Hector performed side-by-side concerts with the Long Beach Symphony Orchestra under the baton of the Mexican conductor Enrique Diemeque. I'm trying my best, guys. So Diemeque, is that right?
Dynamic.
Yes, DMAC. Okay, thank you. So Hector also attended college orchestra classes in high school, and Cerritos Community College during his years right after high school. Hector began taking private lessons for the first time under the tutelage of cellist Maynard Robert Shaw. So, okay, violinist originally, huh? Hector started to play other genres besides classical music on the cello when he was invited to join a folk band while at Cerritos College. Half of his course schedule was music classes. That is when he decided to switch from a zoology major to a music major. Okay, I think you made the right choice. While attending Cerritos College, he was hired to teach piano at the local elementary school nearby. He taught music for Norwalk and La Mirada Unified School District. Hector developed his teaching skills and started teaching elementary orchestra classes. He also taught in cello on Saturdays at the conservatory in Pasadena, where he was also able to start a rock, pop, and jazz orchestra and was pushing the conservatory in different directions despite the pushback from older perspectives. Hector has been able to take professional development classes over the summer and decided to attend Mark Wood Rock Orchestra Camp, woohoo, where they were offering classes aimed at for teachers who taught alternative string classes such as he was. So that is where Hector met Mark Wood and many more amazing string players who were playing on electric string instruments. So Mark Wood was a huge influence on his music career. He planted the seeds in Hector that later began to grow as he furthered his journey as a musician and educator. Hector then transferred to California State University, Dominique Hills, where he began studying cello with Dr. Francis Steiner. While attending CSUDH, Hector took more jazz classes and composition classes. He formed a rock band called the Mulis. The Mulis, yes. And now recently evolved into the corner house with his classmates while attending the university and would perform weekly in the university lounge. This is where his journey from classical to alternative music began to develop from a curiosity into a reality. Hector plays acoustic and electric cello for the band at the corner called the Corner House and has released 2 singles and EP. We're gonna hear those things today, guys. And he also works as a freelance musician in the greater Los Angeles and is currently working on his solo project Cello Azul. Hector is currently focusing on healing music, and you can access his first meditative piece called Pathways on his YouTube channel. So I can't wait to share all this awesome music with everybody. How are you doing, Hector?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Very fortunate to be home and be able to, practice my music now while we're being quarantined and trying to stay home and safe.
That's true. Amazing. But I guess that's the way to go, right? It's just to keep doing what you love, so it keeps you healthy and well and sane, and that's it. So you guys, if you want to find Hector, you can find him on Instagram as the Cello Azul, Cello underscore Azul. You can find him on his YouTube channel, Hector the Cellist. You can also find his meditation piece, Pathways, and on Facebook, find him on /Hector.celloazul. All right. So before we go on, tell me when did you decide to? So I know we just read your story where you met Mark Wood. So what was the deciding moment for you to take up electric cello? And was it intrinsically motivated, or was it because you've met somebody like Mark Wood?
I was playing on an acoustic cello. It was an acoustic electric, and so it was just a pickup that I placed under the bridge. And I was performing with several rock bands. I played with the Moolies often, but when I was playing with other bands in larger venues, I would get lots of feedback because everyone was loud, and I couldn't get as loud as everyone else because of the acoustics of the instrument.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that I needed an electric instrument. By this time, I had met Mark, and then I had the opportunity to play on his electric cello, his Cobra cello, the model that he had at the time.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, wow, I'm sold. This is the instrument for me.
Awesome.
And I worked enough to finally be able to get the instrument, and that's where I am now. I'm developing my skills on that electric instrument, and it's been an amazing journey.
Nice. Way to go. How many strings is it? Is it 4 or 5?
Mine's is 6 strings.
Wow. Love it.
So
oh my God. That's so cool.
And it's a 6-string solid body. And I chose fretted because there's times where I was performing with bands, and most bands are like, I really just want beautiful cello in the background, but not in the forefront. So sometimes I wouldn't get cello on the monitor. And if I don't know what I'm hearing, and if I don't have a monitor, it really puts me in a very vulnerable position. So I decided to invest in make sure that my cello had frets on it.
That's nice. I totally agree. I ordered a Mark Wood Viper 7-string, but I have phantom frets just because it's my thing as a violinist. I'm like, will I be able to play with frets? So how do you feel about frets? Like, does it actually, does it bother you? Does it prevent you from doing the slides and things like that?
No, it doesn't bother me. I still play back and forth between my acoustic and my electric.
Yeah.
And I've played on an electric Viper with phantom frets. And I played one with frets, and I feel like I've gotten used to it. At first, it's kind of awkward, like, what is this under my fingers? But
Yes.
you play directly. Yeah, you play directly on the fret. And on my electric cello, I play directly on the fret, and it's more of like, I would say, a feel as opposed to visual, because I don't look at my fingers when I'm playing, but it allows me to feel a little safety when I know if I can't hear myself. And the sliding is still, it doesn't prevent slides. It doesn't prevent any of my glissando. So
Cool,
it's
cool.
great invention to the history of violin and cello.
Oh, definitely. It's like the revolution. That's what people play today. That's amazing. So why don't we listen to one of your songs, and then you can tell us a little bit more about how it came to be, okay? So here is Bliss. Yes, is that the full name, or is it Bliss?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bliss.
okay, awesome. So here you go, guys. Enjoy. Here's Bliss.
Up in your arms, love, to see your eyes rest. I want to wake up in your arms, love, to see your eyes rest. The smell of your skin the fruit of heaven that I can only get from you. I want to taste the fruit of heaven that I can only get from you. The taste of your lips takes me to bliss. The taste of your lips takes me to bliss. Can I hold you, baby? Bring me closer. Let me inside. Let me inside. Can I hold you, baby? Bring me closer. Let me inside. Can I hold you, baby? Bring me closer. Let me inside. Let me inside. Can I hold you, baby? Bring me closer. Let me inside. Can I hold you, baby? Bring me closer. Let me inside. Let me inside. Can I hold you, baby? Bring me closer. Let me inside. Can I hold you, baby? Bring me closer. Let me inside. Let me inside. Can I hold you, baby? Bring me closer. Let me inside. The smell of your skin brings me to bliss. The taste of your lips takes me to bliss.
Wow, that was awesome. What a perfect song to relax.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what would you call this? It's reggae, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got reggae influence. It's got a little bit of the rock influence. I grew up listening to a lot of reggae when I was younger, and it's sort of what has always been it's always been an influence for me when I write music. But not necessarily, but definitely you can definitely hear all the tunes I was listening to as a kid. Definitely was reggae, and I really do enjoy the change and feel for the song where it's slow and chill, and then we're able to kind of release some energy in between.
Yes, that's my favorite part. That's so awesome. So, how do you usually go about creating music? Do you write it with your band members? Do you have an idea that you develop into like a rhythmic concept, melodic concept? What's your process in kind of, a few words, if we can?
Yeah, no, sure. It just depends on the tune that we're working on. So in the band, there's 5 of us, and each one of us brings a different flavor to the band. And for this one, particularly this song, we were hanging out as a band and we were jamming. And our guitarist Gustavo, he was playing the chord progression slowly in a very kind of R&B reggae feel. And then he was playing, and so then I joined in on the cajon. I was playing cajon, and our bassist was playing bass lines, and then eventually I just started humming. And so usually what comes to me is the melodies first, and so I hum melodies aloud, or sometimes I play cello. And so I'm focusing on melodic lines, and once I have a melody or a riff that I really enjoy and I feel sticks, then I repeat it over and over again, and then eventually I just start to say words, and sometimes I just start to say words to see what words fit in the melody. And sometimes I often build a song on a specific word, and then I just expand it. Like, oh, okay, well, for this one particularly, we started off with just the chords and the melody. And so then I sat down, and at that point in my life, I had finally met someone very special in my life that I was able to, wake up in the morning and be very grateful that you're able to see them. Like, that's the first thing you see in the morning, and it's such a beautiful feeling, and that's where I was at the time. Still am, but that's sort of the focus of the song is like, I want to wake up in your arms. And so, and it's that feeling of bliss of being with the person that you most want to be with, and being so close to them, and how it makes you feel. And so that's sort of how the song came about with the direction of the words. But other times I do just sit down and write words and try to put them rhythmically. For instance, I recently just started exploring rap. a genre of music that I really do enjoy to listen to, but never felt that I can do that. And so, because lyrics, for me, when I write music, I usually focus on, when I personally write songs, so this is a collaboration, but when I write songs, there's another song that's going to be released soon called Estos Ojos, and that song is a lot more reggae too, but I focused on the bass lines. And so I play the bass line, and once I play the bass line first, then that dictates the chord progression usually. And so I figure out the bass line, and I play chords over the bass line to see what chords fit best. And then once I have that sort of feel, then I start to dance and sing to it. And if I can dance and sing to it, then it's in the right direction. And then once I sing la la la's over it, or whatever oohs or ahs, then I start to fit in words. So for me, it's like bass line rhythms and feel, then melody over that, and then eventually I ice it with the words.
Amazing. I love that. Well, it makes sense that you focus on the bass, because I wonder, by the way, how low can you play on your cello? So it's a 6-string Mark Woods Cobra, right?
Yeah,
And
I have a low F.
Wow.
If you listen to the next song, Cada Vez, that one is where you can definitely hear the bass line of the Cobra.
That's amazing. Very good. We'll hear it in just a second. Meanwhile, tell us how do you define the concept of healing music? So you said you were working on healing music. So to me, what we just heard was great. It was like healing already. So I can see you transition into that world. And what is healing music to you?
For me, music is vibrations, and it's also a release of energy. And so if we are playing music with a positive intent, and actually putting your emotion behind it, it does transfer between the musician and the listener. And so there's plenty of music that I really enjoy, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish they didn't say the words that they're saying to this. Music is great, but then, it's sometimes the words can often hold you back. And so for me, healing music is music that's positive, music that's uplifting, and it doesn't necessarily have to be happy sounding. It's just music that resonates and has a sort of positive release of energy. For instance, the music that I've been working on recently has been just instrumental, so that I can really focus on the emotion behind the music, and being able to, put myself in a meditative state so that I can sometimes allow the music to just guide me. And through that, I've been able to release a lot of what I've been holding back, or things that I've been ignoring, or being able to really sit with my feelings and express it through music. And that's sort of therapeutic for myself. And so when I started doing this with groups, I joined the Healing Homies Network, which is an organization that started here in Southern California, which is aiming at connecting other Latinx artists, musicians, health providers, people who care, who give. And we started basically creating healing sessions for healers. So if you're a nurse, you're a healer. If you're a teacher, you're a healer. Anybody who provides and gives their all to help the community. And we were offering music and meditation and healing for those who heal others. And when I was playing and I was offering these meditations and these sound baths, I found that I was really connecting with the people that were listening. And so I was sort of putting in my positive intent, and people would receive it very, very well. And people would come out very relaxed and saying that they felt so much better. And that's when I came to realize that this was something that I truly enjoyed, was healing myself through music and allowing others to heal with me. And so I feel that's sort of my understanding of what healing music has been through my experience. And so then that led me to my YouTube that I put out called Pathways. And so that is a series of loops that I've been playing with for a while. And so it's pretty much all cello and all loops, using various effects.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So, you guys, there's a link below in the description, wherever you're watching us. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, there's a link to Hector's channel. So, go ahead, check out Pathways. It's there. Enjoy, meditate, and hopefully, will help you feel healed and well and sane during this interesting time in our lives, right? Thank you. So, why don't we have a listen to one more song then?
Thank
Are
you.
you guys ready? So, this is Cada vez. Yes? Or cada vez?
Cada vez. Yeah, it
Cada
means every
vez.
time.
Here we go.
Cada vez que lo veo pasar, cada vez que lo veo, mi corazón palpita y me suena. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. Estoy bajo un encanto cuando empieza a bailar. Estoy bajo un encanto, mi corazón palpita y me suena. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. Cuando canta yo bailo y yo quiero saltar. Cuando canta yo bailo, mi corazón palpita y me suena. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. A las nubes yo subo cuando la mano me da. A las nubes yo subo, mi corazón palpita y me suena. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. Cada vez que me besa, no lo quiero soltar. Cada vez que me besa, mi corazón palpita y me suena. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam. Pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pam, pam, parim, pararam.
Woo! Awesome.
Thank you.
That was so great. So I love that. I love that how we can hear a little bit of reggae, a little bit of more like Latin music. So I love that. It's such a happy mix. It just makes you feel the joy, right? Makes you want to get up and dance. It's like you said, music
Yeah.
is vibration, makes you move. That's amazing. I wanted to personally, I'm curious about. So you started your actual education in music from classical violin. How would you say did your classical training contribute towards who you are today, or was it more like something that you didn't want to do? Like, does it play a part in today's Yeah,
No,
music.
it definitely plays a part. I think in the approach of how I'm playing music. Oftentimes, violin and cello is a single line.
Yeah.
So, as opposed to, for instance, my guitarist in my band is able to play chords and understand a little bit more about how notes work together and harmonies. And so when I do write music, oftentimes it's a single line melodic, and then I build upon that. But over the course of my education, I expanded my knowledge and understand chord progressions. But playing violin, it really, I think, helped me with understanding melodies. And so, for instance, this particular song, our guitarist showed up one day at rehearsal, and he was just playing this lick. And so we started moving and grooving to it, and then for me it was very easy once the bass player and the guitarist has that solid groove going for me to just go like just sing out melodies, and that's definitely an influence of playing cello and violin and playing melodies growing up.
Yeah,
So
and
I
it
feel-
feels so natural too.
Yeah, so it just became a part of me. Yeah, and I really do appreciate my classical background. Even though I'm not a classical performer or musician, I definitely appreciate the technique and the dedication and sort of the structure that it creates for young musicians.
Absolutely. I totally agree. My grandpa used to say always, there's nothing that you will learn that will be useless to you. So be open to everything, especially when you're young, especially when you're still at university. You got to be open to everything because you never know. One of those things that you've learned in like brief experience might actually change your life.
Well, yeah, exactly. And so, for instance, this particular song that you hear, there's a lot of shifts in ideas and in tempo, and it's definitely kind of like a classical piece where you have a slow movement, a fast movement, and then you change it up, and that's sort of how we as musicians we get bored of hearing the same sort of kind of like thing going on, and so we just like, here we go, let's throw something new in there.
Yeah.
For the sake of our music sanities, like we want to hear something different. But definitely, yeah, and I think for this group particularly, has pushed me vocally, because I think I've never really go around saying, hey, I'm a singer, but it's like it just happened.
You're singing on this one.
Yeah, I'm singing on both of them.
Oh, amazing. I didn't know that. That's great. Good for you.
That's my voice in both of those, and for Bliss and for Cada Vez. And so we just released our band, The Corner House. Follow them on Instagram too, on Facebook. The Corner House, we just released an EP, so we released 2 songs, amazing songs. One of our songs, Deeper Than the Sea, written by our drummer, and the other one, Foreign Fog, is a song that sort of has been in my mind for years. When I was at Dominguez Hills, I started playing. I picked up a Native American flute, and so I really started playing with it. And that groove that you hear on the flute is something that I was playing, that I've been playing since I was at university. And so eventually,
Wow.
we brought it back as a band, and it just took us a couple months to like really dissect the song and put it together and expand it, and then that's where I introduced rap for the first time. So
Oh,
I
that's
definitely
amazing.
encourage everybody to listen to Foreign Fog, which is a song that addresses how America and the media is portraying immigrants in the United States, and sort of addressing this blanket of lies that they kind of put blame on and scapegoat immigrants for the problems that we have financially in the U.S., which is obviously corporate greed, but it's definitely sort of like a tender spot for me as a son of immigrant parents. So I definitely felt like this was the time that I needed to really push and express this song. So yeah, check it out. It just dropped yesterday. So the brand new.
Yay! Ooh, is it on your YouTube?
Yeah, no, it's on Spotify. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes.
iTunes.
Yeah, you can find it on
Awesome.
iTunes. It's called Foreign Fog by
Foreign Fog. Sounds
Yeah.
so great. I totally agree. I'm also from an immigrant family, and we moved here 16 years ago, so I understand. Well, I think our situation in Canada is way better for immigrants, and we're being treated really nicely. But yeah, I understand the struggles that come with it. So good for you. That's amazing. I'm gonna go listen. You go, guys, listen too. All right. Meanwhile, I wanted to do something sort of like a wake me up little rapid fire game.
Great.
So if you're up for it, I'm gonna ask you 10 silly questions in under a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so that means 6 seconds for a question.
Okay, let's do it.
So some of them are digging a little deeper. Others are a little bit more on the surface. So just basically tell us the first thing that comes to your mind so we don't overthink it. Okay. Are you ready for your first question? Okay, I'm going to get us a countdown, and then I'm going to start the first question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What was your most memorable performance?
My most memorable performance was at Cerritos College. I was a student, and I was performing for the first time a solo piece that I was going to play. It was a sonata by Braval, and I was nervous in the background, and I was rosin my bow the whole time because I was just waiting for my turn. And when it was my turn, I went in and played the first opening chord, and a poof of rosin smoke flew everywhere.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Audience was like, "Oh!" And so that was kind of embarrassing, but it was kind of cool at the end when you think about it.
Nice. What are the names of your pets?
I have 2 cats. One is Pudge, and the other is Misitu.
Nice. At what age did you pick up cello?
I picked up cello in 6th grade. I'm trying to remember how old I was in 6th grade.
Like
Maybe 12?
Yeah. Okay, cello, acoustic or electric? Which do you prefer?
That's hard to choose. I can't decide. If I could only have one, I don't know. Maybe I'll choose electric.
All right. What motivates you? We're out of time, but we can still finish the question.
Sure.
The first one was so complex. Yes, go for it.
Yeah, my children motivate me.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. How old are they?
My son is 10. I'm sorry. He's 11, and then I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Wow, that's great. Do they play music too? That's off the schedule in our questions, I know, but that's so great. That's so great. Which YouTuber you just can't stop watching?
I don't really watch YouTubers. Maybe I should look up.
Yeah.
Oh, musician that I can't stop watching? Right now I can't stop watching FKJ.
All right. What are your favorite 3 songs to cover? Name 3. Yeah.
My favorite song to cover is This Charming Man by the Smiths. My second favorite song to cover is Come Together by the Beatles. And then finally, I really enjoy playing Negra Tomasa by Caifanes.
All right. Name 3 people that you admire most.
3 people that I admire most. One is our assistant principal at my school, an amazing person who really opened up my world to social justice and understanding that this is something we need to teach the children, and understanding that they have a power within them to be able to make their own decisions and change their world, even though they're young, to be able to understand that they have the power to shape their society.
That's amazing. Any more 2 people to
add
to that list?
Person that really does inspire me musically is Mark Wood. Was someone that really opened up my world with what we can do with music, and has always, been sort of an amazing, not only amazing musician, but also like inspiring in the sense that makes you feel like you're like something's attainable, and also very encouraging. Like an educator himself.
Yes, that's true.
And then lastly is I really do admire my partner. He's amazing. He's such a dedicated person, a very disciplined person. And so I think those are the 3 people that really definitely inspire me.
That's amazing. Okay. Now, dogs or cats?
Cats.
Cats. Got it. Name 3 artists that you follow on Instagram.
I follow Vera.
All right.
I really enjoy following this cellist from Latin America, Ariel, an amazing cellist. And then I also follow Shauna Tucker. She's another cellist amazing cellist. So if you ever get a chance to interview another cellist, you need to look up Shauna Tucker. She's another musician that is a classically trained cellist, but does her own thing. And you got to check out Shauna.
I'll check her out. Thank you. Awesome. So we got through the questions. Woohoo! We didn't make it in 1 minute. It was more like 5 minutes. That's okay. That's the trap, because some of these questions are really big, right? And you just want to expand. Like, usually the people you admire, like, you cannot stop talking about them, right? Because there's so much to say, and I understand. Yeah, Mark Wood has been amazing, also in my influence and in actually this entire podcast. So I'm fairly new to podcasting, and I started last year in May, and he was one of the earlier interviews I did. And he said one thing to me that I think we'll all be able to relate to. He says, your story is so interesting. You come from a different part of the world. You have undertaken so much to be here. Like, that's what I want to hear. I don't necessarily want to hear, like, Bach's or Brahms's story, like it's been told already, right? So it's about telling your unique story to the audiences. That's what makes people relate to it in your music. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this is exactly what we're doing, yeah, that you're doing. Amazing. So before we go towards the end of our show today, what would be a piece of advice that you would give to a young artist in today's world in pursuing their careers? So want to do something like what you do, perform, create music, and perhaps something to deal with this crisis that we have going on today. What would you tell them?
I would say play and also practice when you play. Be mindful of how you play and practice. Our body is a gift, and we don't have it forever. And so make sure we are athletes as musicians. We are athletes. So stretch. Treat your body good, but also record yourself. Either audio record, visually record. Look at yourself playing. Analyze yourself how you play. Watch yourself how you play. Be able to sit back and listen and record your growth and see and listen back, because when you're playing, it's different than if you sit back and you watch, like, oh, that's what I sound like, oh, that's what I do, and then record everything that you possibly can, because sometimes you come up with something amazing, you played it, and then you want to go back to it, and you're like, what did I do? But if you have it recorded, you're like, oh, and you go back to that. Well, I mean, that speaks to people who are interested in the creative aspect of it, but yeah, if you're interested in writing music, write, imitate whoever you like, imitate them as much as you can until you eventually find yourself and who you are as an artist. Play lots of covers, play the songs. If you like it, learn it, play it, enjoy it, and learn why you like it. What is the aspect of the music that makes you like it? And then you start writing music like that, because if it calls to you, it's calling to you for a reason. So write that style of music, you like it, write it, learn it, experience it, dance it. You have to dance. You need to dance. If you're a musician, you need to dance.
Very good. Thank you so much. That's amazing. That's exactly, I think, sums up really nicely what we were talking about today. So Hector, thank you for being on the show today. This is my pleasure. And if you don't mind, I'd like to invite you back sometime, maybe a couple of months down the road, when you have a new single coming out or an album or a video, anything. Shoot me a message. We'll have you back on the show. We'll be happy to. Hopefully I'll have a full-on video broadcast by then. I'm still fiddling with Windows 10, but that's okay. We'll get it done. So meanwhile, you guys can find Hector on his YouTube channel. You can find Hector on Facebook by /Hector.celloazul. Find him on Instagram, which is where we originally connected. So at /cello_azul. Is it Azul or Azul? Azul. Okay, got it. So he makes amazing music with his band and on his own. Check out the pathways for healing, meditative music. I can't wait to share this whole thing, load it up on iTunes, and have people watch it. So thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, Vera. I truly appreciate you. Thank you. You're amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's do the outro.
That's all, folks. If you like Iron Fiddle songs, download them at virabermenka.com/music. See you next time.